Hi everyone. Believe it or not, it's been 1 year since I started taking cello lessons. So I thought, well, I have to make a video and give you a little update on how I'm doing. And this last week has been really good, actually. I think there was a little bit of a breakthrough. Something that my teacher Matthew's been telling me for the longest time, I think just finally clicked. He's been talking a lot about the bow, which I thought was silly at first because, you know, I was really concerned about getting these fingers in the right place. But this is what makes the sound, and so it certainly deserves equal attention. The idea is to bow, first of all, in a straight line, not up and down or, you know, like shooting a pool cue. You want the bow to go down its own axis, right? Straight across through its own axis, not up and not down and left or right. There's also how much weight we put down on the strings and the position, whether it's high near the fingerboard or low toward the bridge. And it all has to be balanced. And it's something that I've been working on continually. Down towards the bridge, to give you an idea, it gives a brighter, louder sound. That wasn't. There we go. That first one was a little iffy. And toward the fingerboard, it's much softer. Of course, you have to move the bow faster. So there's three things: speed, position, and weight, which isn't really. Well, I think of it as pressure, but it really is a transference of the weight of your arm into the bow by turning your hand, not pushing down, but using this first finger to push down on the bow. And requires less on this end and more on this end. So as you move, you have to adjust. That's something that's more pressure. And as you get to reading music, it's very easy to start losing focus on this. So this plus this plus this. But in any case, what he told me last time was to think of the elbow as pushing the bow, as opposed to, I don't know, the arm or the wrist, but leading it, and it helps to take it down that straight path that we're looking for. So the sound is much better. Another thing that happened was I changed the type of wolf tone eliminator that I got. A wolf tone is on any one particular instrument, there's one note and that resonates in a weird way with the actual body of the instrument. And instead of a nice smooth tone, you get this wah 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 wah. Long time ago, I guess they thought it sounded like a wolf. In any case, the way to, and mine's an F sharp. Right now, I think it sounds okay. Oh, you can hear it a little bit. It started to wolf there a little bit. In any case, this is what stops it for whatever reason. If you place this in the right place down here on the short end of the strings past the bridge, that's changed the sound too. So in just a week, I think there's been a bit of a difference. Let me just play you some notes here. Some of these high notes were a little rough for me. I am a little strange, I know. I think of notes as having personalities or characters, and either I'm familiar with them or I'm not. Even like on the piano, those notes each have a little bit different personality to me. And here I know these notes on these middle two strings up above the high D. I don't know these guys, and I'm not really sure how they act, and so my confidence was less. I played them with less confidence and they sounded crummy. Now I'm learning I have to hear the note ahead of time, commit to it, and there's a more confident sound and they come out sounding like notes instead of scratchy and hesitant. It's difficult sometimes in my apartment because I know I have neighbors and I tend to be a little more timid in my playing. So I have to imagine myself in a larger space, like some of the places that we have lessons sometimes in a church or a large room, and play to the back of the room. Matthew even one time had me sit up straight, head up, look at the back, and play to the back instead of playing right here, playing to the back of the room. Makes a lot of difference where your head is. It really affects your sound. If you're thinking a particular way, it just has an effect on how you play. So it's been a great year. It's been fun to work on my sound and work on playing these notes and discovering things about myself I didn't know. The one about even on the same string, moving my arm down as the note goes down, I kind of, I guess, have it in my head that I'm lowering the note and raising the note, and it needs to be right across that one string. This is changing the notes right here. That was a strange thing I found myself doing. And how much of what I know from playing saxophone and clarinet and all that transfers over to this, even though it's a different activity in a lot of ways. This is my mouthpiece. This is my embouchure. How I bow the string is my embouchure. How I produce the note, how I start the bow stroke is how I tongue the note and begin the note on a wind instrument. So it's a different part of the body, but it's kind of doing the same thing. What is really different is that there are more than one note under any finger, because even though in first position I'm playing, like for instance, open D, E, F, F sharp, G, in some passages we may need to shift up, and now this first finger is no longer E, now it's in the G position. G, G sharp or A flat, A, B flat. And these can be moved, you know, one semitone at a time. And also, in some cases, I may need to play E with this finger and F sharp, which is normally third finger, with this, so that I can get to, you know, I mean, the note resides on the fingerboard, not under my fingers, which is different than the saxophone or the clarinet. I've always got those notes right under those same fingers. I may have alternate fingerings, but this is always A, this is always B, this is all, you know. So it's been fun, and I still encourage anybody who's ever wanted to play a musical instrument, or for that matter, learn to do anything, to draw, or to sculpt, or do pottery, to find a way to do it and expand your horizons. It keeps your brain active. You're never too old to learn new things. And if you have kids, it's a great example for your kids of lifelong learning. And it's a time during your day just to put everything else aside and focus on something. It's a great stress reducer. Even if it's 15 minutes, everyone has 15 minutes. There's 15 minutes while dinner is cooking. There's 15 minutes somewhere during the day to strum a ukulele or to get out your pastels and draw. It can be done, and you'll be surprised, even though you think, oh, I can't do that, how quickly you acquire a skill. No one was born knowing how to play a musical instrument or draw. Or some people learn faster than others, but it's always a learning process, and it's really fun to see yourself improve. If you remember, I just looked at this video of me on like day 2 trying to play May Song, which sounded like late April, and it was a little scratchy, and I could see in my face on the video I'm really working and really trying my best to play it, but the skill just wasn't there yet, and hopefully it's better now. It sounded something like this. Something like that. It started out with a little D arpeggio. Playing more confidently now, I'm more in tune, I have a better idea of what I'm doing, my muscles know what to do. So anyway, let me play something for you with a backing track. I've recorded this once before. I Don't Know How to Love Him from Jesus Christ Superstar. Let me play that for you. And let's just see if I sound any better than I did a year ago. Certainly a year ago, but maybe even more recently than that. Anyway, thanks for following my progress. I'm having a good time. Take care and enjoy the song.